Coming up tonight on Our News Weekend, a VIP preview.
For the first time, Royal Caribbean is opening a beach club, and we have your VIP preview coming up on Our News tonight.
Still to come on Our News, a former Deputy Prime Minister and Immigration Minister sheds light on the Shanty town crisis.
And watch the road this Christmas. Police say holiday driving isn't just about traffic laws, it's about patience. Why officers say kindness on the road could save lives. Our News Weekend starts right now. This is Our News Weekend. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Candino Knowles, in for Megan Shepard. A major new tourism development set to open in just days, and officials say it's already making a real impact for Bahamians. Royal Caribbean International today unveiled its Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, a new destination scheduled to open December 23rd, with more than 2,000 bookings already on the books. RCI marked the moment with a ribbon-cutting ceremony and VIP preview. Danielle Miller was at today's event. She tells us how officials emphasize that while the club adds a new experience for visitors, its biggest value may be the opportunities it creates for Bahamians.
For millions, the Bahamas means paradise, and Royal Caribbean is giving us all a new way to play in the sun, sand, and sea. However, they are also giving more than 500 Bahamians the opportunity to do what they love.
Tourism is real life for a lot of families, and that is the truth. So the question for government is simple. If tourism is the engine, how do we make sure that people who live here share in the value created here?
Prime Minister Philip Davis also took part in the ceremony, stressing that tourism must continue to deliver real benefits for the people who call the Bahamas home. Set to officially open on December 23rd, the Royal Beach Club spans 17 acres and is the first development of its kind for Royal Caribbean. With whimsical structures, multiple pools, and vibrantly colored stalls, executives say the club was built by Bahamians and will be operated by Bahamians. That includes roles in information technology, engineering, lifeguard services, communications, and more. IT manager Giovanni Monker says after 13 years in the field, working on this project has been unlike anything he's experienced.
It's unexplainable, right? It's unimaginable. It's a beautiful situation, something new.
Then there are those in arts and entertainment. Artist Alan Wallace and Angelica Wallace Whitfield were responsible for bringing the club's color schemes and murals to life. Both say walking into today's ceremony came with a strong sense of pride.
I feel very proud, very honored.
I feel really filled with pride. It's really exciting when I'm driving West Bay Street and I could see it from the road. That's a really awesome feeling.
For dancer Rashawn Murray, working at the club means more than a job. She says it gives her the chance to use her talent while providing for her daughter, Alea.
It feels good to provide for Leigh because she is my person that pushed me, and I don't think I'll be where I am today if she wasn't in my life.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks for that, Danielle. As the holiday season picks up, social services officials say more Bahamians are reaching out for help with housing. Minister Miles LaRota says his department is seeing a noticeable increase in requests for emergency shelter, especially as financial pressures continue to mount. Speaking with reporters outside the House of Assembly this week, LaRota revealed that more than 100 rooms are currently filled, many by families still trying to get back on their feet. According to the minister, the requests coming into social services vary widely, from short-term stays to cases where families need a safe place for much longer. And he says for months now, the system has been near capacity.
Situations where people may be losing their jobs. You have scenarios where individuals are moving into New Providence. The request varies. Some individuals just need a short stay. Some others may require longer stays. We are presently, and for the past few months, we have like 150 rooms of rental in the system that are taken now. Part of the reason is that we have been granting extensions to individuals who are not financially set to move back in.
And LaRota says the amount of time people need help has shifted over the years. Before the pandemic, most stays lasted just a few days. But during COVID, when government used the Ponciana Arena as a shelter, some families required up to 3 months. Today, he says extensions are still a common reality.
We had more wiggle room for longer stays. They were like around 3 months. So now you could get anywhere from requested, some people maybe 2 weeks, some maybe a month, some maybe 2 months, some maybe 3. And so depending on the original length of stay, requests are made. So naturally, if somebody requested 2 weeks and we thought they would be in position to move out and that didn't materialize, we do extensions.
And years later, a former deputy prime minister is admitting that successive governments have dropped the ball on affordable housing, helping to create today's shanty town crisis. Over the years, countless residents, both legal and illegal, have called these unregulated structures home. And the former deputy prime minister says it comes down to one main issue. Joshua Williams tells us more.
There's been a lot of talk about immigration as of late. With the government passing the Smuggling of Migrants bill, it's a move that has sparked wide public discussion. And when conversations turn to smuggling and illegal migration, shanty towns are often part of that dialogue. I spoke with former Deputy Prime Minister and Immigration Minister Brent Simonet, who says at the heart of the issue is a lack of affordable housing.
So I understand the government have recently moved people into a building off Mackey Street that I think used to be on the Ponciana Inn, whatever. So we have a number of homeless people. We've got a lot of, and an affordable house can't be $200,000 because that's not affordable. But so I don't know. The Prime Minister now is going to build some new, whatever the new subdivision. I don't know what those prices are going to be. But if they're 100, 150, 200, that's not affordable for a teacher who's only earning X dollars.
For years, these unregulated communities have not only been eyesores, but have also created dangerous living conditions with illegal activity often taking place.
So I can't run a generator at my house and not get BEC because I'd be breaking the law. But in some of these shanty towns, the fella is selling electricity and 15 drop cords later. So there's the whole question of hygiene, of sewer and water. I mean, there's some other concerns about purely the fact that it's maybe an illegal immigrant. There's also standards of the housing, the town planning act, et cetera, that are being breached. So there's multiple infractions in a lot of these areas.
Simonet also shedding light on one of the biggest misconceptions he says Bahamians have.
And in a lot of cases of people certainly when the F&M did it in Abaco, a number of the people in the whatever you want, I'll call them shanty towns, were actually legal residents and or Bahamians. So we shouldn't put up this feeling that everyone in a shantytown is an illegal immigrant.
The current Davis-led administration has moved to address the issue, with several demolitions carried out over the past 2 years by the Unregulated Community Action Task Force and several more slated for next year. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks for that, Joshua. Police on Abaco investigating a stabbing that has left a teenage boy seriously injured and 4 men in custody. Police say the incident happened late Friday night on Don McKay Boulevard. The juvenile reportedly suffered apparent stab wounds and was taken to a local clinic with plans to airlift him to New Providence due to the severity of his injuries. Investigators report the stabbing followed an altercation involving a group of males. 4 suspects aged 17, 18, 19, and 33 were arrested in connection with the incident. And a carjacking attempt turned violent early Saturday morning when police say a gunman opened fire on a man sitting in his vehicle on Burnett Terrace. Investigators report the victim was seated in a white Honda Fit just before 1:30 when an armed man approached and demanded the car. The victim drove off. The suspect fired shots, grazing him in the right arm. Police say the man managed to drive himself to the hospital where he was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the gunman fled the scene and investigations are continuing. Anyone with information is urged to contact police or Crime Stoppers. Meanwhile, a late-night police operation has led to the seizure of a firearm, ammunition, and dangerous drugs, and the arrest of a 36-year-old man. Police say officers from Operation Black Scorpion executed a search warrant just after 10 Friday night at a residence on Montcur Alley off Kemp Road. During the search, officers say they discovered a firearm loaded with ammunition along with a quantity of suspected marijuana. The male occupant, who was alone in the house, was taken into custody. Meanwhile, traffic officials on high alert this holiday season as crashes spike across the capital. With more parties, more shopping, and more distractions, police say road safety has to come first.
More traffic on the road due to persons shopping, going to work, going to events. The traffic has rise, and persons scared in accidents due to not paying attention. They're on their phone, and we do implore the public to put the phone down.
The holiday rush is packing the streets, and police say the roads are more dangerous than usual. ASP Lakeisha Sawyer says distracted driving, especially over the phone, is at the center of many crashes.
There's a very visible sign by East Street and Independence Drive. Watch the road, not your phone.
ASP Sawyer says drivers are running amber lights, ignoring signals, and failing to buckle up children in the back seat. And with work functions and parties every night, officers are bracing for another annual challenge: drinking and driving.
Persons, they do drink above their limit and then they drive. And God forbid they get in an accident and cause injury or death to somebody. So we don't want you to drink and drive. Always have a designated driver or stay within your drink tolerance.
What about protocols for large events?
For large events, we would just implore the public, you can go in groups. At your work function, you can go for a car, and if you have numerous events, just let the persons be a designated driver.
Police are also warning drivers to look out for pedestrians, many of whom walk or ride at night without reflective gear. And if you're rushing from store to store, Chief Superintendent Sharia King says safety starts before you even enter the car.
When you're shopping, make certain that you hold your purse and your purchases, your shopping bags, close to you in crowded areas. When you return to the vehicle, make certain that you secure those items not in the back seat of the car where it's visible, but in the trunk of the car. As you return to your vehicle, make certain that you are vigilant and remain vigilant as you shop to make certain you know what is around you in your surroundings. Have your keys ready when you're going to the vehicle. These simple things can make certain that you remain safe during this holiday season.
Officers say increased patrols will continue through the new year as they work to reduce holiday road fatalities. Sawyer says the message is not just about rules, but courtesy.
It's going to be a very busy traffic season. We want you to be kind and courteous to your other road users. And as police officers, there's a saying, but for us, we'll say we don't just live here, we drive here. So we do know what is out there. We just want persons to be patient, and you will get to where you need to be.
All right, when Our News Weekend comes back from the break, the holiday season is about making memories, and tonight you'll meet a woman behind a local business turning celebrations into keepsakes. Megan Shepard tells us how the grand Bahamian entrepreneur is elevating events one memory at a time. But first, the world-famous Valley Boys say a judge ordered their name restored. Less than a day later, the NJC pushing back, saying the participation was always conditional. The story when Our News Weekend returns.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you. And I say to myself, what a wonderful world.
More controversy with the popular Valley Boys Junkanoo group following a Friday night statement from the Brian Adderley-led faction of the Valley Boys, citing an interim court order. That statement now prompting a detailed response from the National Junkanoo Committee and the ministry. While the court has ruled that both groups may use the name Valley Boys, officials say the public deserves clarity on what that ruling does and does not mean.
The latest in the Valley Boys name dispute began Friday night when the group, known as World Famous Valley Boys, led by Brian Adderley, released a statement welcoming an interim court order. In that release, the group said the Supreme Court ordered the Registrar General to restore its nonprofit status, directed the Department of Inland Revenue to reinstate its business license and tax identification number, and ordered the National Junkanoo Committee to refer to the group as the World Famous Valley Boys established 1958, in public and private correspondence. The order, according to the statement, remains in effect until further direction from the court. Less than 24 hours later, the Ministry and National Junkanoo Committee issued their own statement, saying that Friday's release did not fully reflect the circumstances leading up to the case. The NJC says the Adderley-led faction was never accepted outright to participate under the name World Famous Valley Boys. Instead, officials say the group was allowed to participate on a strictly conditional basis, with the clear understanding that it would be recognized as World Famous 1958 unless and until documentary proof was provided to support a claim to the Valley Boys name. The ministry and NJC say that documentation still has not been submitted. Despite missing the original registration deadline, the group was allowed into the parade and even received seed funding, decisions the government says were made to protect the integrity of Junkanoo and avoid disenfranchising performers and supporters. While the matter is before the courts, officials say they deliberately avoided referring to the group as Valley Boys to avoid prejudicing the process. The NJC says it is disappointed the issue proceeded to court, maintaining that they took no side and that every decision was guided by fairness, transparency, and the protection of Junkanoo as a national cultural institution. With the matter still potentially subject to further legal review, the ministry and NJC say they will continue to act on the advice of counsel and in the interest of the Bahamian people.
We talk about the Don't Blink Home Run Derby weekend, and we get into some hoops. We got all that coming up next on our Sports Weekend.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you, and I say to myself, what a wonderful world.
Good evening, welcome to our Sports Weekend. I'm Tage Adderley. The Don't Blink Home Run Derby in Paradise went down today at Montague Beach. Here's an overview of the week-long event. The Don't Blink Home Run Derby in Paradise is a celebration of baseball and culture, and it was held earlier this afternoon. The brainchild of former pro baseball players Todd Isaacs Jr. and Lucius Fox. The Derby has grown by leaps and bounds over the past decade, going from being a one-off event to a full-blown celebration of the game. The week featured a baseball and softball camp on Wednesday, a golf tournament and cruise on Thursday, a softball game on Friday, and today's Home Run Derby, which featured up-and-coming pros, major leaguers, and for the first time ever, women's softball players from the Bahamas and from abroad. Now that the event has the backing of Major League Baseball and the Players Alliance, the pros and the celebrities have been out in full force. And the Derby wrapped up earlier today. You can catch it in its entirety on the Our News YouTube channel. Now we're over to the court, where our guys got busy on Friday night. Vijay Edgecombe had 22 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals to help his Philadelphia 76ers get a 115-105 win over the Indiana Pacers. He started the game off on a heater, scoring 14 first-half points before deferring to former league MVP Joel Embiid, who finished the game at 39 points. Paul George also had 23 for the Sixers. Klay Thompson at 12 off the bench. His Dallas Mavericks won 119-111 over the Brooklyn Nets. Anthony Davis had 24 and 14 to lead the squad. And Buddy Hield and the Golden State Warriors fell to the Minnesota Timberwolves 127 and 120. The shooting guard from Grand Bahama got the start, but he only had 6 points, making 2 of his 4 threes. Now, no Bahamians are playing in the association tonight, but Coach Joe and the Rebels played early today. We'll get into it on Sunday. Until then, I'm Tage Adderley, and this is our Sports Weekend.
All right, thanks for that, Tage. Well, on the other side of this break, meteorologist Ian McKenzie, he's back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast, plus just 6 months in and already looking ahead. Tonight, how one entrepreneur is turning a vision into a growing brand, turning holiday moments into memories. Stay with us.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue. Me and you, and I say to myself, what a wonderful
Thanks so much for sticking with us. Welcome to our Saturday weekend forecast. Yes, I am all adorned courtesy of Bahama Print. This is the weekend edition, folks, and I'm representing the lovely island of Eleuthera. No, I'm not from Eleuthera, however, I'm loving the colors from Bahama Print. Taking a look on the outside, 74 cloudy conditions, feels like the same, winds east-northeast at 14 miles per hour. Expect some overnight showers courtesy of an approaching frontal system. Temperatures across the country, we have 74s in Freeport, Marsh Harbor, and in the capital, 75 in Nicholstown and Great Harbor. Key Berries, 78 in Allenstown, 76 in Governor's Harbor. Central Bahamas, 78 in Kemps Bay as well as Black Point, 77s in Georgetown, Arthurstown, and in Coburn Towns in Salvador, 78 in Port Nelson, 79 in Deadman's Key, Long Island. Southeast Bahamas, we have 80 in Duncantown as well as Abrahams Bay and Providenciales, Turks and Caicos, a pair of 79s in Colonel Hill and Delectable Bay. Auckland's 81 in Matthewtown in Nagua. Satellite and radar composite at this time, we have cloudiness across our area. Across the central southeast Bahamas, this is all courtesy of a frontal system that pushed through earlier. We have an approaching frontal system that should continue to keep conditions pretty unstable through about Monday. Boarding forecast, we have some stiff winds out there, should taper off tonight as that front approaches. Winds east to southeast becoming more northwesterly after the frontal system. 10 to 15 knot seas running 2 to 4, but up to 6 feet offshore on those swells. Low tide at 9:09 p.m. tonight, high tide at 3:34 a.m. tomorrow. Central and southeast Bahamas, we're keeping that caution in place for you boaters and the risk of rip currents for you swimmers. Winds east to southeast, 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet over the ocean. Here's a look at your national forecast. And in your extended forecast, we're going to keep showers in the first part of the forecast period, courtesy of that approaching frontal system. But hey, guess what? Tuesday through Wednesday, we have a cool down. After Wednesday, things start to warm up again. Then we have another approaching frontal system by the end of the week that should put things on the cooler side come next week. That's a wrap on evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, enjoyable night, everyone.
All right, thanks for that, Ian. Well, from corporate parties to family gatherings and events with friends, this is the time of the year when many of our memories are made with the people who matter most. And tonight, the owner of Velvet Experience, a luxury photo booth company, tells our Megan Shepherd why you should let them capture those special moments this holiday season and beyond.
I love events. I love creating moments and adding moments to events. So I wanted to highlight the keepsake of an event.
Meet 27-year-old Rianne Davis, owner of The Velvet Experience, a luxury photo booth company designed to take your event to the next level. From themed keepsake photos to personalized props and custom backgrounds, Davy says every detail is about bringing a client's vision to life.
I've done weddings, I've done anniversaries, I've done kids' birthdays, adult birthdays. I've even done political events, I've done concerts, so I feel like the photo booth fits any event out there.
Launching in June of this year, she says business has been going well so far. And along the way, she's learned valuable lessons, using each experience to continue improving her brand.
There's highs and there's lows. there has been like slower weeks around August and September was like a slower period for us, but it has picked up now. I like the reward of when people see the photos, when they interact with the booth, and how excited they are once they receive their photos. So to me, that's like very rewarding.
And this isn't her first business venture. The Grand Bahama native says her entrepreneurial drive comes from wanting to fill gaps she sees in the community.
I run my own swim program, but I also recently started that as well. So although it's not my first one, I am still pretty new into being an entrepreneur. When I first started my swim lessons, I saw that there needed to be more one-on-one swim lessons. There's a lot of swim clubs, but I cater more to like really small groups. So I don't take a maximum, I take a minimum of like 2 students at a time. So similar to like my photo booth, there are many photo booths out there. I just wanted to capitalize on the luxury side.
And just 6 months in, Davy says there are already plans in motion to expand the Velvet experience, bringing even more luxury options to future events.
In 2026, I am launching a audio guest book. So it's perfect for birthdays, weddings, and anniversaries. You're able to record a video voice note for the couple or for the celebrant. We can also put it in a digital photo book for you to keep. So it's perfect for the celebrant itself. So everybody can say cute messages, or even for baby showers for the child once they're born, that they can also watch. And then we are also launching a Sky 360 booth. So it's not normal. It's not like the normal 360 booth that you stand on and it goes around you. 15 people can fit inside of it, and it's above you. So it captures everything above you. So it's a little bit more interactive, and it allows for a bigger space versus just a small circle.
And if you'd like to make this holiday season or your next big event extra special, the Velvet Experience can be found across social media platforms. Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepherd.
All right, thanks, Megan. And with that, we thank you for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Candino Knowles. Have a safe and wonderful evening. Candino Knowles here. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more stories like this, click right over here. Don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more great content from the team you already trust.